Star Wars Episode 8, The Last Jedi. Finally, the trailer is here. I'm so excited for this, and I was so excited for this trailer. And now, I'm even more excited for the movie. It kind of followed the same kind of structure as actually Episode 7, The Force Awakens, in that it didn't show us very much of the actual plot. It showed us a little tiny clip of a few scenes of the movie without really giving any real plot or substance to the actual film away. Now, this is a good teaser right here, I think. Because of that fact, because it's not giving the plot away, it's not showing too much of the movie, it gets you excited about the movie, it draws up curiosity to see what the movie is about and where these characters are headed in this next film. So of course, the trailer actually starts with this flat rock surface. At first when I saw it, it looked like the surface of a planet or something, which I think is what they were going for. And then Rey puts her hands down and she's all freaked out and stuff. And it looked as though to me like she was coming out of probably a dark side cave as part of her training. And it leads me to wonder how much of this movie is going to be focused on her being there on that planet training with Luke. And it seems to be a pretty big portion of the movie because they actually show quite a bit of it as compared to the other stuff in the trailer. They focus on her and Luke and their training, even with some of the dialogue as well. And of course, you got your first badass shot of the trailer, which was her hand on the ground, telekinesising all those little rocks around her. That's really cool to see, and I'm really looking forward to more of that, or seeing how powerful her trained Jedi skills can become, and maybe even find out a little bit more of her backstory, because it's still a mystery. And another shot that we see, it looks like, it took me a while to figure out what it was, but I think it's Kylo Ren's mask that's all smashed to bits. And I'm wondering if that just happens during a battle, or if it happens with a fight between Rey or fight with somebody. Or maybe, theory, he does this himself and says, you know what? I killed my father, I'm done being Kylo Ren, and crushes his helmet. I don't think that's actually gonna happen, but who knows, it might. Or what might actually happen, which I think would be very unexpected and actually probably polarizing, would be what if Kylo Ren dies? Like either by Rey's hands, by Luke, by some other means. What if he dies? Or like he says, turns away from the dark side, thereby, from a certain point of view, killing Kylo Ren. So either by quitting being Kylo Ren and going back to being Ben Solo, or him actually dying, that would be a huge twist, I think. I don't think I would like that, and I don't think that's gonna happen, but what if it does? That would be so insane. And then basically Snoke would take over as being the one main villain. So you would have Snoke, and then that Admiral character, I forgot his name, I can't remember it right now. But that would be a huge twist, huge mind blow if Kylo Ren actually died, and I think it would have huge repercussions for the rest of the series, episode 9 basically. Again, I don't think that's gonna happen, and I don't think I would like it if it did, but let me know what you think in the comments. Do you think he's gonna die? Do you think he's gonna quit being Kylo Ren? Of course, they show one shot of Finn in this, probably this medical tank thing, and I'm really hoping that he's not going to be in there the whole movie, or at least a majority of the movie. I really hope that's just the beginning of the film, and then he finally is healed, like they put him in the bacta tank and he's in this healing chamber thing, and okay, he's all better now. He might have a scar or something, but now he's all better. It's also looking like we might see a little bit more of Poe, which I was looking forward to because I was a tiny bit disappointed in how much of that character we got in the last film, because he seems like a really interesting character and really charismatic, and I think adds a nice balance to this like three main character kind of dynamic, even though he hasn't really spent much time with the other two characters, Finn and Rey. But maybe he will in this film, and they can actually form an actual like little team or a relationship with one another. Now, as we would expect, the cinematography in this looks amazing. The shot of the Millennium Falcon going through, doing a little fight. I'm wondering who's flying that. it's probably Rey, but I wonder also if it's Lando Calrissian, the administrator of this facility. But what brought me to that point of the cinematography was the shot of Kylo Ren and his lightsaber perspective, like leading lines into his angry face. And we could be safe to assume that's probably closer to the end of the film with the confrontation with him and Rey, because we see Rey running with the blue lightsaber. And oh, that brings me back to when she's training on the rocks, she's using a green lightsaber, which is kind of weird because she has the blue lightsaber. Why is she using a green one unless that is her lightsaber? Because Luke's is green. It doesn't seem likely that she would just be training with his lightsaber since she has the blue one. So maybe she builds her own lightsaber and it's green. And also it looks like we're getting a little bit more context for what happened to the Jedi with the shot with R2-D2 and is what probably is Luke Skywalker looking at the burning building in the distance and is probably dead Jedi like scattered throughout that area. And that looks to be like a very emotional and sad scene, but I'm looking forward to seeing it still. And this, of course, leads to probably the biggest mind blow in the trailer and potentially biggest reveal in the history of Star Wars, maybe. And of course, that is Luke Skywalker saying, "The Jedi must end." Wow, that was pretty cool. And I'm sure a lot of people aren't gonna like it if that's kind of the direction they're going, with Luke Skywalker actually thinking that, you know what, it's time for the Jedi to disband and stop being a part of this galaxy. But generally I wouldn't like this at all because I like Jedi so much. But within the context of this story as a whole, even including the prequels, the original trilogy, up till now, it kind of makes sense that he would want to disband the Jedi after all this stuff has happened, because he tried to restart the Order and succeeded, but it fell apart again. And of course, throughout the millenniums, the Jedi have always been a part of wars and big giant galactic wars and everything. And what happens to a Jedi? They turn to the dark side. And in this series of Star Wars movies, that has been what has happened. We have a Jedi, they turn to the dark side, and the galaxy is ravaged by war. So I'm thinking maybe this is kind of the philosophy that Luke Skywalker has come to realize, is that, hey, you know, I tried to restart the Jedi to be peacekeepers, but what's happening is while there are peacekeepers, there's always one or two bad eggs that turn to the dark side, kill everybody, and spread their evil throughout the galaxy. So I think it's actually kind of an interesting concept, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this philosophy kind of plays out within the movie, because it kind of adds another layer to the storytelling, I think. So I am very excited for this movie. I can't wait. I'm looking forward to maybe one more trailer. I hope they release it like they did with The Force Awakens, with a little bit starting out, then a little bit more, and gradually more as time went on closer to the film's release. And I really hope they don't over-market it and oversaturate, because too much will make a lot of people lose interest. Like if I see commercials for a film, merchandising for a film too much, then I start to lose my excitement for it. So I hope that I won't see too much of this, maybe one or two more trailers, and that'll just be just enough to keep my excitement going. But if you guys have seen this trailer, let me know what you thought. Are you excited for the movie? Does it look bad for some reason? Let me know what you thought, and I'll see you later.